What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? How y'all doing? How y'all doing, man? Before we jump into the intro song, because I wanted to do it a little different today. So before we jump into the actual intro song, I just wanted to go ahead and come on and say what's happening, how y'all doing? Welcome to the show, all that good stuff. And then we're gonna say
6:30 p.m. Eastern. Shelby's World Live taking off. Questions will be answered because the queen get it off. Unity is for the black and brown community. Conversation without scrutiny. Hey, we speak from a place of power, no coward. We just making sure the truth isn't overpowered. Black goddess, black queen, no in between. Video your podcast to the big screen. Smile is everything. Her light up a room. She say what she means. That's why we're in tune. Grown woman handles her biz like it is. Discipline, a role model for the kids. Nothing was given, everything she earned. She sat back and learned, and now it's her turn. So stop on by, come and subscribe. Each and every Wednesday, SW Live.
what's happening? What's happening? All right, welcome to the show, y'all. Today we are going to be discussing respect versus disrespect and knowing the difference. And I'm sorry that in this day and time we have to even have that conversation about what's right and what's wrong, and how we should talk to people, how we should treat people. But we're still here. We're there. We're not. It's not. We haven't gotten to a point of being past it yet, it's just it is what it is. But I do think there are times when we need to open the dialogue back up so that we can get on that common ground, so that we can all start acting like we know what respect is and who it's due to. Okay. All right. So before we jump into the show, we're going to start with the quote of the day. And our quote of the day is: respect is a currency you spend wisely. Disrespect bankrupts relationships. Yeah. Disrespect will leave your relationships, leave your partnerships, your kinships, anything that you have going on in a ship area. It will have it in a diabolical warfare. Whenever disrespect becomes a part of that situation, when you introduce disrespect, you're going to know it's going to be met either with disrespect or either with a level of respectable response, so that it won't continue to be disrespect. And that's going to determine whether or not somebody wants to continue dealing with you, and if it's even okay to want to deal with you. Respect is a currency you spend wisely. Disrespect bankrupts relationships. As soon as things start to become questionable between you and a person in a situation, have the conversation. Go ahead and embark on that conversation. Go ahead and bring everything to the forefront then, because at that point, it's going to either be this or that. So it's like a go ahead and just get it on out in the open type thing, because now you've already been met with it and graced with it. So go ahead and have the conversation. No need to hold that back. No need to think about it. No need, because if you already feel there's some form of disrespect going on, you're more than likely going to feel it again, because you're not going to correct it at the time that it's happening. So, don't let it linger. Have the conversation. So disrespect is respect is a currency you spend. Disrespect bankrupts relationships. And the respectable form of that, by saying that it's a currency, it just means that you're going to continue to evolve in that situation. You're going to constantly be growing in that situation, as to where you and the person you got a value there. But once disrespect enters the picture, the value starts to decrease more and more and more and more and more. So keeping it respectful keeps everything on a uphill level. All right. So we don't want to always have to get to a point where we have to meet disrespect with disrespect. So go ahead and have those conversations early on, so you don't have to worry about that. They used to say respect is due to a dog. And we've learned in time, dogs will get more respect than human. Disrespect and respect are two contrasting attitudes that can greatly impact relationships and interactions with others. Disrespect involves showing a lack of consideration or regard for someone's feelings, opinions, or their boundaries. People step in other lanes too easily. And you got a lot of things that have allowed that to be a whole lot more popular. Social media, different forms of social media. Audacity has given a lot of people the option to be disregarding interactions with people, meaning their boundaries and their feelings and their, like, whatever people use as opinions. They have started to make opinions be more fact-based, and we know that that's not a fact. But y'all, people will stand there and argue their opinion down with no solid relevance behind it, but will stand there and argue you down about an opinion. And if you stand there and argue with the person that's just giving an opinion, that's just a lesson learned. Don't do it again. Like, don't even give in to those type of conversations, because people pulling you in and they sucking the energy out of you. And that's really what they are. They're just energy thieves. So that's why they even given an opinion-based topic to want to have conversation and standing on business on something that don't even make sense to stand on business about. Ignore it. When you're approached with certain instances and situations, ignore it, man. That's what we got to get more. We got to get better with either ignoring the situation, especially if it's not somebody who you have a relationship with, that you care about, that you're trying to build something with. If they know no professional relationship, no business relationship, no relationship due to family, nothing. If you don't have nothing like that with this person, there's no need to even stand there and have any conversation with them at all, once they've gotten to that point of trying to show you disrespect. Everybody not worth it. Everybody not worth that. It can manifest in rude behavior, dismissive language, or disregard for personal space. On the other hand, respect involves treating others with kindness, consideration, and understanding. It involves valuing someone's thoughts, their feelings, their boundaries, and showing appreciation for their worth as an individual. Ultimately, respect fosters positive relationships and creates a sense of mutual understanding and trust, while disrespect can lead to conflict and hurt feelings. And who benefits from that? Even the person that did the disrespecting ain't gonna benefit in the end from hurting somebody's feelings and being disrespectful. Who benefit from that? It's just it turns into just a very awkward situation moving forward. So that's why I said, when the disrespect is brought to you, go ahead and have the conversation, because the longer you linger, the longer it lingers with you. And now every time you see that person, you're either going to heed, or you're going to be upset, or you're going to want to speak, or you're going to want to ignore, or you're going to want to do, or you're going to want to don't. All the things you should have done when the situation happened, when the boundary was crossed, when the threshold was met, when the line got stepped on, when the crack broke your mama back. All of those things should have been handled at that very moment. We can't be holding back when it comes to our boundaries. So respect is due to more than just a dog. Okay? Respect involves treating others. What's our comment? Got to have the conversation ASAP when it's disregarded. The disrespect happens again when another issue arises, and again and again and again and again and again. A constant and again. You're absolutely right, sis. Absolutely. So definitely make sure that you address the disrespect at that very, very moment. Okay? Yes. Examples. Well, let me say this first. Respect involves treating others with the kindness, while disrespect shows the lack of disregard. Understanding these examples that we're going to talk about can help foster a more respectful interaction and improve relationships in both personal and professional settings. There are a lot of people that work in professional settings that don't even know when they're being disrespectful. So if that's happening even in your professional life, you have to even meet it then. You have to go ahead and say it then. It's just ways that you do it. It's just ways. It's just a way. Everything has a way. Everything has a way. Recognizing disrespectful behavior is crucial for setting boundaries and promoting a positive environment. We still have to talk about that. We still have to talk about being positive and having positive environments that aren't miserable and that aren't spreading that amongst others in the environment because of a nasty environment. So we still have to say these things even in 2026, when the majority of the people that have been in these environments have been in them environments for a very long period of time. And they're still having to be told how to be respectful or how to have boundaries and respect the boundaries. They're still having to be told that in 2026. So that's why we're even having this conversation right now, because people are still having to be told those things in 2026. All right, so let's talk about some examples of respect. Using polite language, bro. Using polite language. That would seem like something that's very, very normal, because your tone and your delivery is super important. So the language that you use in your tone and delivery is going to help keep the conversation mid-base, where nobody's stepping on toes and nobody doing anything awkward, because we're speaking in a tone of conversation versus argumentation. We're speaking in conversing. We're having a dialogue that doesn't allow the loud tones or the deep, I'm trying to be more in-depth tone, or the philosophical high tone of, I gotta raise my voice because you get too loud for me type of tone. We gotta stay in that normal tone that we would speak to someone who we care about, because when we start raising our voice, aren't we taking away some of that care and that respect? Aren't we retracing the whole fact that this is somebody we care about? And I think in my last conversation, I said, if somebody cares about you, they shouldn't be trying to hurt you, right? So we shouldn't be responding with the thought of someone trying to hurt us because we're being told something that doesn't agree with us. The same thing with respect and disrespect. Don't greet someone with a tone that you wouldn't want to be met with. That's a good one, Shelby. I don't know if y'all listen to Pastor Mike, but Pastor Mike be like, Michael. But yes, I'm telling you, you got to be. That was good what I just said, though. That's why I had to go ahead and give myself a little, But yes, we do not want to do that. We do want to always give out what we want to receive. Okay. So examples of respect: using polite language, speaking calmly and avoiding harsh words demonstrates respect for others' feelings. And we're always looking to make sure we're not stepping on toes. Okay. Listening actively, really listening, like where sometimes you got to put your phone down. It's certain conversations you can have with people where you can even have your phone and be listening because you're paying attention. But it's certain conversations where you got to put that phone down because you really have to know you're paying attention. You need to hear the words that are being said. You need to feel them. You need to suck them in. You need to take them in, because not interrupting someone when they're speaking shows that you value their thoughts and opinions. And that means not interrupting them with having a distraction or something that will make them think that you're not giving them your undivided attention. Thanking others. Expressing gratitude for someone's help or support acknowledges their efforts and shows appreciation. Appreciation is not granted as much as it needs to be these days. Appreciation is looked over. It's taken advantage of. Like, people don't even be told thank you regularly for doing the things that they aren't even supposed to do for you. Just because it's their job doesn't mean that a job doesn't require someone to be told thank you. Somebody holding the door for you deserves a thank you. Somebody stepping out of the way so that you won't step in a puddle deserves a thank you. Someone making sure that they block you from destruction deserves a thank you. Anything that someone does for you that they don't have to do deserves a thank you. And many of the things that someone does for you that they do have to do still deserve a thank you, because as a parent, you have to take care of your kid. But a lot of the things you're doing don't even involve really saying I'm taking care of my kid. A lot of it is because it's out of gratitude and love that you want to make sure your kid has. So sometimes a thank you goes a long way, because I might have just done something that went and costing me $400 for my kid. And yes, I'm supposed to do it because it needs to be done, but it doesn't mean that it had to get done right then. Sometimes people deserve a thank you. Respecting personal space, being mindful of others' personal boundaries and not invading their space without permission is a sign of respect. Baby, that's an act of service. That's an act of service to me, baby. Respect my boundaries. Respect my cleanliness. Respect my space. Honoring traditions. Taking your hat off in a church or a similar setting shows respect for cultural or religious practices. And then more than likely, if it's not a place that you would visit regularly, that means that someone invited you. That means that you were brought in because someone thought enough to bring you into their personal setting, what they believe in. Show some respect. Doesn't matter what you believe in, no matter how you believe it. Show some respect. Respect is due to a dog. Examples of disrespect. Interrupting conversations. Just because you feel like you got to say it right then, right now, right. Type it in your phone. Type it in your phone. If your memory that bad, type it in your phone. Do not interrupt someone if it's not your place to speak yet. My memory real bad. I can tell anybody that. I tell people quick. If it's a thought, I got to say it right then, or I got to put it in my note, because I know it'll be going in 5 minutes. It'll be going. It'll be going in 5 minutes. So I definitely want to make sure that I give the thought, especially if it's good. If it's good, write it down. Definitely write it down. Because don't interrupt them. Because I'm telling you, when I'm in a flow state and I'm interrupted, yes, I can remember what I'm talking about, but the flow gonna change. The flow gonna change. And my delivery at that very moment is I'm focused right then to say it how I need to say it and the way I need to say it. And interrupting me gonna throw me off. I'm being totally honest. It's gonna throw me off. I've always had a very, I think I always said that I was ADHD, even though I wasn't clinically ADD, ADHD, one of them is one or the other, because baby, my attention span go from this to this immediately. So I have to pay attention. I have to write it down. I have to take notes. I will sit in a meeting and be the only one in there with a notepad, because I'm going to make sure that I walked away with whatever I needed to be fed with. And I also need to make sure if I have questions, I write those things down. Using insults. I cannot stand a person that cannot have a conversation without insulting someone. It shows a very low intelligence rate, though. It shows a very, very, very low intelligence. So using insults by directly belittling someone or using derogatory terms is a clear form of disrespect. When immediately your intuition goes to insulting, you're almost not even worthy of a conversation. Because when you start to feel like an attack is better than making sense and getting your point across so that we can actually have a complete dialogue, then you have wasted my time, because you're just really trying to make me mad. And I'm probably going to get mad. I can walk away from being mad, but am I not going to get mad? Because why are you antagonizing me? Don't do that. Ignoring the boundaries. When you step into those lanes that you know that are not for you, and someone says, "Why are you here?" Don't immediately feel threatened. Walk away because you wrong. Those boundaries were already laid out for you, and you have crossed every last one of them on your way here because you knew before you got here you weren't supposed to be here, but you came anyway. Sarcasm and mockery. Using irony to mock someone can create tension and it can hurt feelings. But more than likely, you definitely, if you don't want to fix something, you're doing the best thing in the world when you're trying to mock somebody because you're immediately trying to create tension. That's not even discernment. That's direct. I'm trying to do this. This inclination. I'm coming at you in shameful repertoire to get you upset. I'm coming at you that way. Interesting way to say it, but that's exactly what it is. Somebody coming at you. Dismissive behavior. Dismissive behavior causes someone's feelings or opinions to be shown lack of respect. And so it's basically where you minimize or ignore someone and shows lack of respect for their perspective. But so when someone says, so this is an example. After 9 o'clock, I really don't like to talk on the phone. I don't like anyone to be calling me after a certain time of the night because I've already got myself in a peaceful state of mind, and that call or that conversation may interrupt my state of mind. Well, anyway, child, if I need to call you, I'm going to call you anyway. That's very dismissive. Because you may very well try to do that, and you may very well have to be met with the fact that you will not get answered. And then when we see each other again, now you're upset because you dismissed the fact that I already gave you that boundary, and you stepped all over it and said, "Fuck me." That's what you did. So knowing the line is great. Towing the line is cutting it too close, and you ready to go ahead and just be like, this ain't the friendship I thought I needed. This isn't a relationship that I thought I was in desire of. Heck no. Heck no. Couldn't have been. Okay. So when you're trying to build mutual respect with others and for others, these are some of the things you can start to do. Model self-respect. Be an example. Show people that you have respect for yourself, which allows them to see how they need to respect you, because how you allow yourself to be respected or disrespected will be a continual pattern in your relationship with that person. What you allow is going to always be the pattern. It's going to always be the pattern. So pay attention to that, what you allow. And your boundaries need to be respected by you first. You can't expect nobody else to respect your boundaries when you don't even respect your boundaries. You play with your boundaries yourself. You allow people to play with your boundaries, so they're going to keep playing with your boundaries. You allow it. So you need to be a model for self-respect, so that you need to tell yourself on a regular basis how much you respect yourself. Show yourself self-respect. Show respect to others, leading the march on how to respect and to be respected. Give your full attention to the person who you're talking to. So giving our full attention is showing that we're building mutual respect for others. Accepting different opinions without judging or trying to change them. Those are their opinions. Now, and when I'm having my conversation with you, me telling you about what my boundaries are and you instilling your opinions in the fact that I gave you my boundaries, we may have a little bit of not a clear understanding there. So all I'm saying to you is these are my boundaries. Your opinion about my boundaries are not going to change my boundaries. You can feel how you want to feel, but those boundaries are going to stay relevantly present. Right here, face forward on this plate. You can see it. I'm not hiding them. They right there. They're not changing. No matter how much you talk about it, no matter how you feel. And if you are a person, if someone keeps bringing up the things that cause you boundary issues, that is not someone who cares about you. That's someone who will disrespect you in a heartbeat. Show compassion and empathy. Tell the truth and show honesty. It's so many people in this world that you know that you're close to that are liars. Liars, point blank liars. Lie to you daily. And that's all I'm going to say about that. Apologize for acts that may have hurt others. If someone tells you hurt their feelings, say I'm sorry. Don't say I'm sorry, but, or I apologize, but I won't do that. But as soon as you throw in that but or however, you have already negated their feelings and said, nah, I don't feel that way. That's how you feel. That's not how I feel. You don't even got to say that, bro, because you don't have to feel what they feel. But you do got to respect it. You do got to respect it, okay? Listen to people's opinions and try to understand them. Communicate assertively, but in a respectful manner, because you do have to stand your ground, but respectfully. Disagree politely. Show gratitude, and remember to keep your commitments. So as we go back really quick, to our quote of the day, respect is a currency you spend wisely. Disrespect bankrupts in relationships, bankrupts relationships. That last thing that I just said, by keeping our commitments and showing gratitude, are the high forms of how that quote can stand true, because respect is a currency you spend wisely. Your gratitude, your commitments are forms of your respect for that person. How you disagree with them is your form of respect. So you're building currency. When you start towing the line and crossing the line, you're losing value. You're bankrupting your relationship, because now you're doing questionable things. You're doing questionable things. People don't like questionable things, baby. We don't like it. We don't like to feel like we could sit back and be like, I bet they might do that. I knew they was going to hurt my feelings like that. They showed me that in a little bit of their actions when I seen how they did somebody else. Pay attention. All right? Pay attention. Now, before we get up out of here, I just want to do a quick breathing mechanism with y'all, because I told y'all last week that we got to start making sure that we're focusing on how we take care of ourselves and exhaling, inhaling the positive and exhaling the negative of the day. So before we close out, that's what we're going to do. We're going to jump into a quick inhale, exhale moment. Let's go. Look up. Take a deep breath in. Out. 2 more. And that's our show today, y'all. Y'all enjoy the rest of y'all evening. But before I go, I just want to tell y'all one more thing and remind y'all, don't forget to go and grab the release. It is on Amazon, on Kindle. Make sure you get your copy of that wonderful erotic poetry book by Shell the Poet. Make sure you get it, grab it, read it, enjoy it, take care of it, make it your own, put it in your book collection, because we're going to talk about it. We're going to drop some of them poetry moments on the show. So stay tuned. Thank you for tuning in, sis. You enjoy your evening. Thank you. Quickly and to the point. That's what it's about. So y'all enjoy y'all evening. Enjoy the rest of y'all week. Take time for yourselves, and don't forget to breathe. All right. Peace. Enjoy. Boom.
6:30 p.m. Eastern. Shelby's World Live taking off. Questions will be answered because the queen get it off. Unity is for the black and brown community. Conversation without scrutiny. Hey, we speak from a place of power, no cowards. We just making sure the truth isn't overpowered. Black goddess, black queen, no in between. Radio podcast to the